and we don't have it. I'm just now building myself back up. I lost everything twice.
I wasn't really thinking about anybody. The part about it is nobody knows how heavy it gets.
I believe in the impossible. If I reach deep within my heart,
No, baby, don't talk to me.
go ahead and free yourself.
And I see you.
you.
And I see you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I never got over you. Have you ever need someone so bad? Got the
Fantasia, you took a fistful of aspirin and went in the closet in your bedroom? Did you think about your daughter?
Honey, she wasn't just beautiful, she was something else. From the second she opened her mouth, you knew you were hearing something special, raw, powerful, and straight up unlike anything else. But her life? Oh baby, that's a whole other kind of story. We're taking a ride that has more highs and lows than a roller coaster, with more twists than a reality show.
I was tired of people doing me wrong, constantly, over and over and over again. Dealing with my family, dealing with my father, dealing with men and their bull. I remember waking up in the hospital. It didn't work. I'm still here in this hellhole, still here with all the drama going on.
Her journey, child, it's been anything but boring. She's been through it all: victories, scandals, heartache, and a whole lot of redemption. Trust me, there's some serious tea spilling in this woman's story. Back in 2010, Fantasia found herself in the middle of a scandal so messy, even the tabloids couldn't resist. And this wasn't just a little love triangle. Oh no, honey, it was a full-blown disaster, the kind of drama that had people glued to their screens. The main man, Antoine Cook. And let me tell you, he wasn't just a player. He was married with a wife.
So there's a rumor on the internet that you are now dating a married man who has 4 kids and he's from your area, a real estate agent that you supposedly have met in the T-Mobile store.
Mm-hmm.
Is this true?
I did meet him in the T-Mobile store. He doesn't have 4 kids, he has 2 kids.
Cook? Oh, he wasn't about to let Fantasia just waltz off into the sunset with his man. Paula? Baby, she came out swinging, lawsuits flying, and she aired every dirty little secret they had for the whole world to see. The heart of the drama, Paula straight up accused Fantasia of knowingly chasing after a married man. She didn't just call it an affair, she practically branded her a homewrecker who wasn't even trying to hide it.
No, I did not break up his home. He's just a friend.
Paula went all the way there, threatening to pull out North Carolina's rare alienation of affection law, which lets a spouse sue the third party who caused their marriage to crash and burn. Oh, she wasn't playing. Paula claimed Fantasia didn't just keep the affair going, she flaunted it like it was a public service, dining and partying in front of the whole world. But of course, Fantasia had her own story to tell. She insisted Antoine sold her a dream, convincing her that his marriage was over. When I met him, he was living like a single man.
I don't know if it's home, what happened in his home, but he's been not with his wife.
Honey, Fantasia claimed all kinds of things in that courtroom. But as the drama played out, the details, jaw-dropping baby, secret hotel meetups, steamy late-night rendezvous, you couldn't make this stuff up. The pressure, oh, it was more than she could handle. As her life became a tabloid circus, her mental health started spiraling. The constant scrutiny pushed her to a dark place, and she tried to end it all. A moment that shook her family and her fans to the core. I was in a place where I felt like I couldn't win, she later confessed.
I was just overloaded with everything, with carrying 6 years of so much. I always take a licking and keep on ticking. Everybody feels like I'm so strong. She's tough. She's got it. It just became heavy for me, and to the point where I just wanted to be away from the noise.
Swallowing a whole bottle of pills in a desperate attempt, she woke up in the hospital surrounded by loved ones, all worried sick. I woke up thinking, why am I still here? She said. At that moment, it felt like the world was crashing down.
Fantasia, you took a fistful of aspirin and went in the closet in your bedroom?
Yeah.
Did you think about your daughter?
I wasn't really thinking about anybody. The part about it is nobody knows how heavy it gets.
That moment, baby, that was her rock bottom. Fantasia later called it the ultimate wake-up call, one that forced her to confront all the choices that landed her in that mess. But back then, with her name plastered all over the tabloids and her every move scrutinized by folks who didn't know a thing about her, it felt like she'd never escape the weight of the chaos. Her music career pushed to the back burner, baby. The drama? Oh, it took center stage, that love triangle. It became a whole cautionary tale, a reminder of how quick fame can flip and become a nightmare. Fantasia eventually moved on from Antoine, but the emotional scars, they stuck around. Though she did manage to rebuild her life and career that chapter, it's one of the darkest and most chaotic moments of her journey, one she barely made it out of. But before all the drama, the tabloid mess, and the scandalous headlines, there was Fantasia Monique Barrino, just a young girl with a voice that could move mountains. Born June 30th, 1984, in High Point, North Carolina, Fantasia came into this world like she was ready to make noise. Raised in a deeply religious family where Sunday service was the main event and music was second only to faith.
Education wasn't big in our home. Singing was. Get the song right.
She quickly became the star of the show. By the time she was only 5 years old, she was already blowing the roof off at church with a voice that had everyone on their feet. And honey, it wasn't just about impressing folks, it was about wowing them.
Sometimes I have to say thank you.
Honey, they were shook, saying her voice had the kind of power that could shake the heavens. While she was making waves in that pulpit, baby, the classroom, whole other story.
When she left high school, I was crushed because, again, I said, this is something that happened to me. I didn't graduate. I left school. This is just taking turn for the worse. It's like I saw her life going downhill, and I'm thinking, this is not what I want.
Fantasia would later admit that it was all about church and singing for her. And while her voice was on point, those textbooks, well, let's just say they weren't exactly her best friend. With no real focus on her education, she wasn't exactly the poster child for straight A students.
I got in trouble for education, so it wasn't something that I focused on. So I lacked in a lot of different areas.
Look, when you've got a voice like hers, who needs a report card, right? But still, it wasn't all smooth sailing. While the church was all in for her, school, oh baby, that was a whole different beast. Fantasia, she was bullied. Yes, bullied.
All the time I would be teased for my lips because my lips were the biggest thing on my body. I was a skinny little old girl.
One day I asked her, why are you being sad? And she said, because the children at school picks at me and they saying, your lips, you got big lips. I said, well, don't be sad about it. Just tell them that everybody's lips can't be the same.
My mother and my grandmother used to always say, your lips are big because you're a singer. Thank God for that. And you sing beautifully. But when you're that young, the way mom and grandma seen it, it really wasn't, I didn't see it that way. I just knew that I was being picked on.
She would cry and say, I don't look like them, and I'm not pretty, And I would tell her, you are beautiful, and God has gifted you, and you just got to take what he's given you and work with it.
But you know what? Her faith, that was her strength, her rock, and in the middle of all that hate, Fantasia held tight to it. She wasn't about to let those haters win. Instead, all those hard years, they built her resilience and gave her the fire to keep going. Between the love and adoration she felt at church and the cold shoulder at school, she realized something powerful. Her voice wasn't just a gift, it was her ticket out. Those early struggles, they were the stepping stones that set her up for the stardom that was waiting just around the corner. All she had to do, go back to the church and trust that she was ready.
I wanted to fit in, and I wanted to be loved, and I felt like the streets was gonna give it to me. My mother didn't want to see me go down the path she went down. She wanted me to break that generational curse. She saw what was about to happen, but I didn't want to hear that. At that time, I wanted different. I didn't want to be special, not have that responsibility on my life of blessing people and living up to people's expectations. I just gave up. When I was in the streets, though, I was like, yo, something don't feel right. And if I don't stay connected to the church, it might get me. Me staying connected to the church was my only hope of feeling like I wasn't going to die out of timing.
Asia's early years? Baby, they were nothing short of a roller coaster ride, and let's just say it wasn't all smooth sailing. At just 7 or 8 years old, she got blindsided by a betrayal that would haunt her for years. It was a trust-shattering moment that left deep scars. Imagine being stabbed in the back by someone you thought had your back.
At a young age.
How young were you?
Probably about 7, 8.
Yeah, that kind of pain, it sticks with you.